You should never let success get to your head. You won't be able to find a hat large enough. And success, it's temporary. But likewise, you should never let failure get to your heart. It can make you feel worthless, but that too is temporary. You see, life has a funny way of handing us both of those things, sometimes closer together than we'd like. I've had seasons where things were going right, not perfect, but right. Doors opened that I didn't expect. Things I had worked on quietly started showing up out loud. And I remember thinking, just for a moment, maybe I've got this all figured out. Now, I wasn't bold enough to say it out loud, but it was there. And that's how it starts. Because success doesn't come in loud and obvious. It comes in quiet and slowly tries to convince you that it belongs to you, that you earned it, that you control it, that it's here to stay. But it doesn't. And if you're not careful, you start tying who you are to how things are going. And the problem with that is life doesn't stay still long enough for that to hold up. Because just as quickly as things go right, they can make a turn. You've seen that side too. Plans fall apart. Things you've counted on don't come through. The effort doesn't return what you thought it would. And those are the moments that test you in a different way. Because failure doesn't knock on the door the same way success does. No, failure sits with you. It replays things in your mind. It asks questions you don't always have answers for. You know, what could I have done differently? Was it even worth trying? Maybe this isn't for you. What made you think you could possibly do that? And if you sit in that long enough, it starts to feel real, not just something that happened, but something that defines you. I've had a few of those moments myself. Times where I sit with an uncomfortable truth that something didn't work out. And there's a choice. Even if it doesn't feel like it at the time, you can let it harden you, or you can let it teach you. I remember I used to teach a class in sand carving, etching designs into glass with a sandblasting booth. And it was always interesting to watch. The students would walk in all excited, curious, ready to try something new. But it didn't take long before some of them would start to hesitate. They'd say things like, I've been thinking about it. This might be too hard for me. Or I'm sure other people can learn this, but I don't think I can. And you could tell they weren't talking about glass anymore. They were talking about themselves. So I'd just smile and then walk them through the first step. Nothing complicated, just enough to get started. And then something amazing would happen. They'd take that piece of glass, follow the process, and slowly their design would begin to appear right in front of them. And you could see it in their face. That moment where something shifted. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And just like that, they wanted to keep going. Not because it got easier, but because they realized something. Those voices in their head, the ones telling them they would fail again, they weren't telling the truth. They just needed proof. Sometimes the only difference between someone who learns and someone who quits is they stay long enough to see something appear. They stay long enough to see something appear. And over time, start to realize something. Neither one of those two moments stays. Not the success and not the failure. They both move on. They both pass through your life like seasons. And just like seasons, you don't have control when they come. And you don't have control how long they stay. But you get to decide who you're going to be while they're here. Because success is just a visitor. Failure is too, for that matter. And neither one should be allowed to move in and dictate to you who you are. Who you are is built somewhere else. It's built in those quiet decisions. The ones nobody sees. It's built into you. It's built into how you carry yourself when things are going well. And maybe even more important, when they're not. So if things are going good for you right now, that's a blessing. Enjoy it. Be thankful for it. Just don't let it change how you see yourself or how you treat other people. And if things aren't going well, don't let that sink in too deep either. Take what you can from it. Learn what it's trying to show you. But don't let it convince you that it's the end of your story. Because it's not. It's just a moment. And moments, they pass. So if this meant something to you, maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to hear more of these conversations, you're always welcome right here. So as always, my friends, be well, be safe, and be happy. I'm Grandpa Chuck, and I do hope to see you in the next one.